back to 1600. Just 48 hours after giving lunch to bank CEOs at the White House, the Obama administration this weekend forced the CEO of General Motors to resign. And that takes us to tonight's Hypocrisy Watch. First, the background. Make no mistake, our nation's banks and our nation's top automakers are very different, and their role in our economy is very different. Nonetheless, the Obama administration is in the process of exhausting most of the $700 billion in bank bailout money Congress approved last fall. According to Treasury Secretary Timothy Geithner, so much has been doled out that there is only $135 billion left. On Friday, many of the bank CEOs who contributed to the economic mess and whose companies needed and received bailout funds met with President Obama at the White House. They described the meeting as pleasant. Afterwards, the CEOs were asked if any of them felt they owed the American people any apology for needing help.
I think there are very few financial institutions that would not say we haven't made mistakes and feel awfully bad about the mistakes that we have made.
But the question was, do you owe the American people an apology? The apparent answer from the CEOs was no.
At some point, we have to stop talking about the past and talk about the present and talk about all the great things the commercial banks are doing in their communities.
Now, contrast that with the attitude from General Motors CEO Rick Wagner. Last December, he acknowledged a multitude of mistakes at GM, and in advance of his testimony to Congress, Wagner apologized for needing to ask taxpayers for help. This weekend, the Obama administration forced Wagner to resign.
It's a recognition that we'll take new vision and new direction to create the GM of the future.
Now, that may be true, and perhaps Rick Wagner is not the right guy to lead GM. But a lot of those bankers President Obama lunched with on Friday also don't represent a new direction. Some key executives who put AIG in the ditch still remain at AIG. And you heard Ken Lewis, the CEO of Bank of America. His company has taken $45 billion in bailout money, but Lewis still cannot muster the words, "I apologize." When you treat bank CEOs to lunch at the White House and then order the CEO of General Motors to resign, that's hypocrisy, and it's wrong.